feeling of line dancing and in being in lockstep with people is kind of indescribable. It is like this flow state, closing your eyes, opening them, and everyone around you is in unison. It makes me feel like it's like hitting some deep part of the human brain where like we want to work together as people. And so when we see people moving in unison, it triggers this human response. People call it church. We didn't come up with that. People were just like, oh, I'm going to church. I'm going to stud country. It's important to me that people know that stud country is connected to a broader history of LGBTQ line dancing.
Yeah, we go over the dances together.
Well, do you think we should do the new... I first went to Oil Can Harry's in 2017, and I brought Bailey as soon as I could. I haven't done that one in a long time. And I think a lot of people trying to overcomplicate line dancing these days, but like, you can take a simple move, like a step and a clap, and like, when there's all these people doing it together, it sounds fucking incredible. People view us from the outside and they say, hey, that's cool, but it's the same kind of novelty, I'm afraid, that a lot of people see. And it's like, no, but this is a whole community. This is a culture. This is like sacred. When Oil Can Harry's closed, we were devastated and we needed somewhere to dance, so we started doing stud country. Remembering that the elders that come to stud country now literally got arrested for trying to create this culture. They lay the foundation for what we're doing now, and this wouldn't exist without them.
I was looking for that belt buckle the other day, and I couldn't find it, but I think I still have it. I've always been interested in introducing people into the dance. To me, it's still important, even though people are still struggling to simply eat and find a shelter over their head. But they could be dancing in the streets. Let's see, I believe Oil Can Harry's opened up around 1969. And when they first opened up, they couldn't go public because it was illegal, quote, for two men to dance together. And so the only way you could do this was you created a private club. Oil Can Harry's was one of the first dance clubs to go public, where you didn't have to have a membership to dance. That late 70s, the film Urban Cowboy came out, and people were getting burned out on disco. And we had the AIDS epidemic come along about the same time. Not much was known about that at the time, but here was an opportunity. You could actually touch somebody and dance with them. Disco was designed to pull everybody apart. Here, we got pulled together in a unity. Plus, the gay community has always been at the forefront of a lot of things, artistically, dance-wise, and creatively. So there we were. Well, this is one of the whole group at that time. I started teaching at Oil Can Harry's a couple years after country dance had taken over. Yeah, I believe Los Angeles was the blueprint for the gay country dance scene in America. When we lost Oil Can Harry's, for me, it'd been home for, 50 years? It was disheartening in some ways, and in some ways, it needed to move on. Sometimes when things get too complacent, they die.
Growing up in the South as a gay teen, I sort of rejected Southern culture, country music. These guys that bullied me were the guys that were listening to it, going mudding on the weekends in their Jeeps. It has been nice to sort of reclaim my space, reclaim a part of my identity. At the risk of alerting my landlord, they're a bit scuffed up from practice in my cowboy boots. So I've got to kind of find a way to fill those before I move out at some point so I don't lose my security deposit.
It's almost like you go into a little bit of like a meditative state, so much so that sometimes I could be turning and be in the middle of a dance, and I have to stop and sort of, you get lost in it, and I come back and I'm like, wait, what dance are we doing right now? I immediately was hooked and was like, I'm coming back on Thursday, and I'm coming back on Friday, and that was my life for years and years. That was 17 years ago. It came down to people who were going to try to figure out a way to keep this going. And that's what it comes back to. It comes back to people who are going to continue to try and preserve this awesome thing that we all do. I mean, for so many of us, this is home. And, you know, for a lot of people, they never find that. They never get a chance to see what that feels like.
Sometimes I'm afraid I'll wear myself out before I get to the dance floor. I know a lot of the kids are frustrated that the club's going to close soon, but having already been through this, I know it's just probably another stage.
We lost Oil Can Harry's. Club Bahia got bought. It's going to get torn down. In a city where this real estate is so valuable, who wants to have a business where half the room, half the building is just empty space? The public hasn't caught up yet in order to protect these spaces, and they might be gone. And then it's hard to get them back because of the market.
I have a lot to say to Sean yet. The most potent thing I can give him is progression of some of the dancing. I'm sort of being reborn through it too. Reborn through the dance. I am thankful that I'm still able to do it. Thankful that I'm able to meet new people. And thankful that I can still share what I know. I guess that's, thank God.
Don't let my hijinks be in vain. Don't let them sanctify my name.
Sharing a dance floor brings people together. I think that it's healing and it reminds people of their humanity. And if we don't agree, we can share a dance, if just that.
Just tell him I'm on Dolly's list. Oh, I know I was a crazy ass bitch, but at least the life I lived made for good stories. Call me anything but boy. Messy, yeah, I know. I heard your love so fuck it, here you go. But darling, don't forget that my obituary better say, damn, she left a damn good legacy. You can't blame it all on That's where I learned to drink to get drunk. That's where I learned to crazy ass bitch, yeah. But I know how to live, and I got the best stories. But you can never say I'm boring. I'm messy, yeah, I know. But I heard y'all love a show, so fuck it. Here we go. Don't forget though.